Hi guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. I hope that everyone is doing really well. I thought I'd pick the camera up now because it is a Friday afternoon. I think it's around about 5:05, something like that. I've just finished my clinics for the day and I am about to do a private clinic consultation through my business BioLead, and then I thought that we could spend the weekend together. So I haven't actually got too much planned this weekend. I think that I'm probably just going to go to the gym tonight. I've got a reformer class booked. Tonight we probably won't do anything, make some nice dinner, have a nice chill, and then tomorrow we may be doing some work on the house renovation, and then on Sunday I think we're going to go for a nice walk back to where the Holly's farm shop is. We did a walk there last week and it was absolutely lovely, so I thought, you know, not doing much, but I could pick up the camera now and then film it for you. So like I say, I've just got this consultation, so I'm going to do that first and then I'll come back on and I'm actually going to talk a little bit about my day actually as a pharmacist, what I do. I've got a few people who've actually subscribed to the channel recently who are not from the UK, and I realised that actually the healthcare system is different, and so it might be interesting for me to just speak a little bit about what some of the patients that I had in my clinic today, and just see what the difference is between, you know, healthcare in the UK compared to the rest of the world. Okay, so I've just finished the call with my online client, hormonal panel basically. So I just went through that all with her, and then I just need to order some more bloods for it to get done, just so that we've got an overall picture of her health. But yeah, like I was saying before, I am going to go to the gym, so I'm actually going to pack my bag in a sec. But I thought that I would just come on just to sort of explain what I've actually done today in my clinic. So for those of you who don't know, I am a clinical pharmacist and I work for the NHS, but I am actually classed as self-employed. My contract is working for 2 GP surgeries in the northwest of England, and really when it comes to a pharmacist, the roles have actually changed a lot. So when you look back years ago, a lot of pharmacists weren't classed as clinical, so even though we had like a lot of clinical knowledge, we didn't really utilize it. Whereas now, when I'm in surgery, I can get a whole host of different things. So for instance, today I had a woman who wanted to speak about a HRT, so I had to do a HRT medication review. So in that consultation we went through different formulations of a HRT. So she wasn't actually the one that she was on, which was a patch, an estrogen patch, wasn't suitable for her because it was causing like skin irritation. So I went through all the different formulations with her, what the equivalent dose will be in each of those formulations, how it would help her symptoms if we switch potentially. I also made sure that she was on the correct treatment. So this particular woman didn't have a uterus, which meant that she didn't need the progesterone part of a HRT. So she was on the appropriate treatment. She was also on some testosterone, and then she was also on a pessary in order to combat vaginal atrophy, which is like locally depleted estrogen within like the vaginal region. So that was one consultation I had. We also then in that consultation discussed a lot about women's health and about lifestyle, how she could help herself through symptoms with that. We also discussed the fact that she also hadn't had any bloods done for like her overall health since 2024, and one of her bloods, a HbA1c, which is a marker of diabetes, had gone from 34 in 2023 up to 37 within a year. So obviously for me, being an advocate for preventative health or also like specializing in cardiometabolic health, I then ordered a load of bloods for her. So being honest, like the NHS could potentially reject them because there was no real clinical need. However, if you look at it from a preventative health point of view, we don't know what her HbA1c has been since 2024. Obviously she's now menopausal, which increases your blood sugars anyway, and it decreases it increases metabolic dysfunction. So it could be that her HbA1c now is in the pre-diabetic range, in which case she would need to know that, and you would never know unless you test it because you don't really tend to have symptoms. So that was a patient to see him. I then also seen a patient who actually was new to the surgery. So he was a male who was, I think he was around about 40. He had been abusing testosterone, and when I'd seen him, I had to do a new patient medication review. So that is basically where once patients do to the surgery, I will go through all of their medications that they're on, make sure that they correlate with what's on the record so that when the GP prescribes it, it's correct, and make sure all the bloods are up to date, make sure that any allergies are stated on the record, and then make sure if they're taking any other medication from anywhere else, so any clinics, any recreational drugs, whether they're buying any supplements over the counter, I will document it just so that we've got a full medication history should we potentially prescribe medication and it may interact with something that they're taking that the GP is not prescribing. And this patient had said, yes, I take testosterone illicitly and I get it from somebody at the gym. So I'd said, okay, well, we need a full set of bloods on you because we haven't had them done in a while. So when you're looking at testosterone, sometimes we'll do a testosterone level, but we're really looking at hematocrit, which is a blood marker. Hematocrit tends to rise in people who are on testosterone, meaning that the blood goes really sticky, which increases the risk of clots. We also then are also checking for liver function tests as well, because testosterone can also affect your liver. He's had that done a couple of weeks ago, and it was I was actually reviewing him again because he's now just been diagnosed with heart failure secondary to testosterone use, because his blood was that thick that it caused damage to his heart. So his actual heart function was now at 10 to 15%. So he just entered A&E, was short of breath. He had edema, which is like swelling in his ankles, and then they did an echo, which is a test that basically does an ultrasound of your heart, and found that it is, he was in full-blown heart failure at 40. So I was basically just chasing him up for his discharge to make sure that nothing had changed. So that was another patient that I had all of the time, which is getting more and more, is I probably have around 100 patients who are newly started on Mounjaro by private clinics every week. And my role in that is really that I need to make sure it's documented on a patient record. Again, should we prescribe any medication that would interact? I did actually have a patient this week who was commenced on Mounjaro for a private clinic, and her thyroid function had come back really abnormal. So she was a hypothyroidism patient, but it didn't correlate with what the test was saying. So it looked like she had some kind of tumour on a thyroid based on what the results were, and the GP couldn't interpret them and had asked me to help her to interpret them in the context of the dose of levothyroxine that she was taking. Obviously I then asked her about the Mounjaro, and she'd been reducing a dose. What is that the absorption of that medication has probably been affected, and so I work through that with the patients on the phone, that ideally she should be taking a thyroid medication 2 hours before she's eating anything, because of delayed gastric emptying. It could have been affecting the absorption of the drug, where usually it's only an hour. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, that was just another sort of query that I'd had this week. I am also a non-medical prescriber, so I think it's different in the US, where pharmacists don't tend to prescribe the medications, whereas now I could prescribe any medication, but I will only prescribe within my clinical competence, so within whatever area I am working at that time. So for me, it's cardiometabolic health, so usually it'll be things like statins, it'll be PCSK9 inhibitors, which is another medication for cholesterol. It potentially could cross over into diabetic medications, although I don't tend to do that. So I don't know, is that different to the US? I think it is. If anybody is watching this who is a pharmacist in the US, then do let me know, like, what is how different is pharmacy over there? Ours is very much clinical now. Like I say, it's more and more like I can diagnose patients, I can examine patients, I can prescribe medication. So it's more, hands-on clinical, but my role isn't at the moment because I work from home, but it's still, doing a lot of different things that probably you wouldn't expect a pharmacist to do. Okay, so change of plan. We're not going to the spa afterwards now. We're just going to come back and have some dinner here, which we haven't been doing for the last week because we've been in the gym, and I hate that when I have to eat late or my eating pattern changes. Guys, I've just got back from reformer now. I am just going to go and actually get in the bath thing. I haven't had a bath for ages because the weather's been lovely, but it's been a bit cooler over the last couple of days, so I'm going to run myself a bath get my pyjamas on, and then I'm gonna make some dinner. So I'm just gonna make some dinner now. I feel like whenever I've been doing my videos and I've been cooking, I haven't been cooking very like interesting meals, and I actually do tend to cook quite different meals all the time. So I literally just looked in the fridge to see what we've got. I did go shopping. Well, we did go shopping on Monday. I didn't, Lee did. And so obviously it's Friday now, so we're coming to the end of sort of the shop, so I'm just having to use literally whatever we've got. So I pulled out some Cavalier Nero, which I actually did get from M&S yesterday, so that's why I've got quite a lot of it. I've got a corn on the cob, I've got some spinach, I've got an avocado, and I've got some garlic. So what I was thinking was, I've also got some chicken in the fridge. I was going to make this sauce, which is a sauce that I always make, and it's basically just any greens that I have in. I will fry them off in some olive oil on the pan, and then I literally put them into a blender with some herbs and spices, and basically then just coat my chicken in it, or pour it over whatever I'm having. So I'm going to have chicken, and then I'm probably going to have rice with it. So I'm going to make that first. I feel like whenever I make meals or I'm thinking about meals to cook, I always think about the health properties of the foods that I'm cooking. So my number one rule is that I try to have enough fibre within my diet, so aiming for around 30 to 50 grams a day. It's hard to sort of measure that out, and so what I do is I just try to have many different plants. So we usually say about 30 different plants a week, plant species that is. So in that thing alone, in that green goddess salad, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5. So I've already got 5 or 6 of what I should be getting a week in that one meal. So that's what I do as a rule of thumb. So within this one anyway, you've probably got C within the Cavalier Nero, the spinach and the sweet corn, which is good for our immune function. It's also good for our skin. It supports collagen synthesis. You've also got vitamin E, which is also good for our skin. It keeps our skin lubricated. And then obviously all of that will contain fibre, which is very good for our gut health. So that's what I try and do. Make sure that my food is as colourful as it possibly can be, so that I know that I'm getting all of the nutrients that we should be, in order to maintain just overall health really. So anyway, I'm just going to stop speaking now and I'm going to start cooking this. Morning guys. Actually it's not even the morning, it's about 12:10 I think. I've spent the whole morning just cleaning up the house. It's taken me ages. I got up at about 9 o'clock. I had a coffee, which you will have seen, and then I just spent a couple of hours cleaning. I've had a shower, got changed a little bit, and I've actually been watching a webinar which you will have seen again, about LDL cholesterol and looking at the bigger picture with it, which again is something that I do all of the time, but it's nice to just have a little refresher of things. But yeah, I've just sat down now. I made myself another coffee. Lee is out this morning, so we were supposed to do some work on the house, but he's ended up helping his brother, who's also doing a house renovation. So he only lives around the corner from us, so he's gone round there. He went at about 9:30 this morning, so he said he shouldn't be too late coming back, so I could imagine that he'll be back soon. I was planning on doing a yoga, just a little 20-minute yoga this morning, but obviously time's kind of ran away with me. But yeah, I'm just gonna have this coffee now, and then I think today the plan is we probably will go to the gym at some point. I actually don't know what I'm going to do in the gym, but I will film it, I'm sure. We then probably will go into the spa, so just go for a nice sauna steam room session. And And then I also would like to go to the Trafford Centre, which is a shopping centre by where we live, and I want to go there because I need to pick up some skincare stuff, and I also would want to go to a bookstore. So I just finished The Boyfriend, which was the book that I was reading this week by Frida McFadden, which was really good. So I just want to go and pick up a new book so that I can read. And I have also joined a book club as well. So I've joined a group of girls who someone reached out to me on Instagram and just said would I be up for it. And I think it's just a nice way to meet new people. And like I say, one of my New Year's resolutions was to read a lot more, especially fiction books, because I do read a lot of non-fiction, especially medical style books. So I think actually this book club is a bit more different, because I think the type of books that we're reading is all about self growth. I know the book that the first book that we're reading is called The Artist's Way, which I haven't actually bought the book yet, which I will go and do today, but it looks like it's about using your creativity, and that's something that I massively don't do, because working in healthcare especially, you're very methodical, don't really use your creative side, and so it's definitely a side of me that I have suppressed over the years. But I am a very creative person actually. I love doing tablescapes. I did design and technology for an A-level. I love doing things with my hands, so like all of the doing the house, a lot of it we've done ourselves. All of the interior design I've done myself. So yeah, I think I am a creative person. It's just that, like I say, I don't get to use it. So hopefully I will learn something from this book. We'll then make us breakfast as well before we go out. But yeah, I will bring you along with me. Morning guys. So it's now Sunday morning, and we've had a little bit of a slow morning this morning. So we set our alarm for 8 o'clock this morning, and sorry, I'm just putting my earrings in for the day, and Lee's phone ended up dying, so the alarm didn't go off this morning, which was annoying. So we ended up sleeping in until about 10 a.m, which isn't actually like us at all. We like to get up quite early, even on the weekends. So yeah, we ended up getting up at 10. We decided to have a coffee in bed, which was nice, and then I just made us some breakfast. I've been in the shower washing my hair because it needed washing, and yeah, we just kind of like being thinking, what are we going to do today? You will have seen that the weather is not being the best this morning. Sorry, let me just put. So yeah, you will have seen that the weather is not being the best this morning. It's literally rained all morning, and it's been quite heavily raining. So we were planning on going to a coffee shop in one of the towns not too far away from where we live, and then going for a nice walk around there, which is a walk that we've done before. But based on the weather, it's quite cold, it's windy, it's raining. We've kind of been holding off. We said that we're going to give ourselves another half an hour, see what the weather's doing, and then decide. And then I was getting ready because I thought, okay, well, let me plan on putting an outfit on in case we do go out. And then I realised that I actually don't have like a light waterproof jacket. So all of my coats are either really heavy winter coats, which it's obviously not winter, it's not that cold, or they're like spring jackets, which are not waterproof. So I do need to actually stop by a local park. So I need to go into Boots because firstly, I've been using this new skincare, which my skin's been breaking out with it. It hasn't been getting on well. To Boots and get that. By Boots, there is also a Next, and I'm thinking they might be the best place to look for like a light jacket. But I also don't really want to spend money because it's just like, it's one of those things that I don't want to impulse buy and then it'd be something that I don't wear. And we will go to the gym at some point on a Sunday. I always do. an hour in the pool. Nothing too intense, just really chilled. But I love that because it just gives me an hour to myself, just with my own thoughts, just sort of setting myself up for the week, and just to think about what I want to achieve the next week and stuff like that. So I thought I was also show you my outfit of the day because I feel like it's very autumnal, which is reflecting the weather outside. But I'm just wearing a t-shirt and then I've got some pants on that are like flared at the bottom. So these are from Halara. But yeah, I feel like I always dress in quite neutral colours, especially browns, because I feel like with my skin colour, my eye colour, my hair colour, I feel like it suits me the best, like browns, beiges, things like that. But yeah, just a really comfy outfit. Something different to what I've been wearing for like the past couple of weeks. I feel like I've literally lived in those Halara like tennis dresses. They're so comfy, but you've probably seen me in one on every single video. So yeah, at least I'm wearing something a little bit different today. But like I say, I don't have a jacket. If I was to wear a jacket with this, like I say, look, these are the type of jackets that I've got. So like I've got this one, which is a really nice jacket, but it's very light, really springy, not waterproof. And then I've got this one. Oh, again, this is a bit heavier, so this is probably more for the autumn, but again, not waterproof. And then apart from that, I've then got like this one, which is a bit more dressy, again, not waterproof. So yeah, I might, like say, have a look in one of the shops and see. I've also just realised that I didn't show you the books that I got yesterday when we went shopping. So the first one was one that I had mentioned, I think, and it was called The Artist's Way. So this is a book that I'm reading in a book club that I've just joined. So it says that it's a spiritual path to higher creativity. I did read a little bit about it yesterday, just like the introduction. And I think it's a woman who was an artist who basically had, I think she was a writer, she had writer's block, and then she started following these steps in order to tap into her creativity, basically, so that she was more consistent with her writing. And so I think the book basically lays out sort of the blueprint on how to be more creative. And I think I'd mentioned as well yesterday that working in healthcare, being a pharmacist, everything is so methodical and you don't really tend to get to use your creative side. So I'm actually looking forward to reading the book and, you know, tapping more into my creativity. Obviously doing these YouTube videos gives me that little bit of creative outlet. Obviously I'm still learning and I've only, you know, I've not been doing it for very long. But, you know, maybe this will help me create better YouTube videos. So I'm really excited to read that one. And then the second book that I got was Freida McFadden Ward D. So I also mentioned that one of my New Year's resolutions was that I wanted to read more books, and especially books that could sort of take me away. So I tend to read, or I historically have read, very educational books. I always read non-fiction. They always tend to be medical, and I am really fascinated by that, and so, you know, that is good for me. But I also feel like sometimes you do just need a little bit of an escape, and a book really creates that for you. So I have been reading Freida McFadden's books a lot, amongst other things, but I do tend to like hers because I do quite like the thriller type of book, and, you know, sort of that keeps you under like suspense. But this one sort of marries up well with the medical side of things. So it's a medical student who is, I think, trapped on a psychiatric ward. But as with all three of the McFadden books, everything has like twists and turns, and so I've only literally read the first couple of chapters, so I ended up getting to chapter 4 last night. But yeah, I will let you know how that one goes, because I did finish, like I say, The Boyfriend, which is actually on the back of here, and that was a good book. Again, very suspenseful, and, you know, what you think is going to happen doesn't end up happening in the end. A lot of people obviously will know Freida McFadden for The Housemaid, which is, I think, probably one of her most popular books, actually, which was recently made into a movie this year, which I have watched, and that's how I got into reading her books, and that one is a good one. But yeah, so I will let you know how this one goes. But yeah, I just thought I would show you the books that I got. So they are the 2 books. so we've just got to live. Oh, you're not in it. And we haven't stopped bickering once. We've also, I just got a vegan cookie from a little bakery called Sexton, so I'm going to try it and see what it's like.
I'm about to rob a car and you're all dressed up in the best gear.
I got a little raincoat.
Yeah. And then look at me, my colours don't even match because I can't even find anything in my wardrobe.
Also, the weather's gone really nice as well, so I bought it and now it's all sunny again, but I feel like it'll do me for the autumn anyway, so let me try this cookie. So this is a vegan cookie.
Yeah, I'm not over it.
That's nice.
Is it?
So we're just finishing off our walk now. That was a really nice walk. I love coming to this place. So it's a little place in a town not far from where we live, called Lim, and coming on a Sunday walk for me is again a nice way to just reset, think about the week ahead, and being out in nature actually stimulates what we call our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our nervous system that is involved in making us feel calm, making us feel safe. So when you listen to the birds in nature or you listen to the water, it stimulates that and it activates that system. I actually read something the other day which was saying that a lot of birds are dying out, they're becoming extinct, which means that all of the songs that we used to hear years ago of the bird songs, we're not getting that anymore. So we actively have to look for it, and that's why being out in nature and actively listening is a really nice way to calm yourself down. So you can probably hear the water actually, and maybe some birds in the background, maybe the ducks, just as I'm walking now. But yeah, so we've just finished that. We did about 5,000 steps and now we are going to the gym. I'm going to do a little bit of breathing. I've brought my book with me, and then I'm gonna do my swim and then just relax for the evening then, and like I say, set myself up ready for a new week. So we've just got back from the gym and from our walk. You will have seen that the pool was closed in the gym, which I was gutted about because I was really looking forward to my swim. That like I say, I really enjoyed that on a Sunday, but it was still nice because I ended up just going up to the spa. I read my book for a little bit and just really chilled out, and probably I needed it. I have actually had quite a busy week of workouts this week, so I've done a little bit of reformer, I've done hot yoga, I've done a couple of strength classes. What else have I done? I've done like some zone 2, so I have done quite a lot of workouts. So probably my body was just saying just chill out today, and so that's exactly what I did. But yeah, so we've just got back now and I'm going to make some dinner, I'm going to have a bath, and then we're just going to chill. I think we started a new series on Netflix, so we might finish, we'll probably watch another episode of that. But yeah, if anybody has got this far in the video, then thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me that people are watching these videos, people enjoy them. I've had a few people commenting, which has been amazing. If you haven't already, then please subscribe because it does help me. And also comment down below, is there anything that you would like to see from my channel? So, you know, maybe something like a day in my life as a pharmacist, what I do, what I eat in a day, anything like that, then please do comment. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.